Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
3 days after a plane crashed in Iran, the country's government is now admitting it was its military which unintentionally shot it down. Iran initially insisted it was not involved in the crash and even removed the wreckage before investigators could arrive.
But U.S. officials say new video released today shows a missile strike. Sadly, one of the victims was a student living in San Diego. 10 News reporter Matt Boone tells us that student was supposed to return to class next week.
Yeah, Kim, administrators say the news that Sarah Sadat died is still sinking in for students who return from their break at Alliant University on Monday. Meantime, as you said, we're hearing more from the Iranian military, calling the missile strike accidental, blaming human error.
She was the sweetest person I've ever known. She was the most caring person I've ever known.
The loss is still raw for Rayanne Shuaib, who said she was close friends with Sarah Sadat.
She was really goofy. She would make me dance in the car with her and sing along to the songs.
Sadat was born in Iran but had moved to Canada, coming to San Diego last fall to study at Alliant International University.
But she loved it there. The campus was absolutely beautiful. She would send me pictures, trying to convince me to come.
Sadat had been studying to become a clinical psychologist, which her friend says she had a natural talent for.
She had a heart that was full of forgiveness, full of understanding, full of compassion, full of empathy.
Administrators at Alliant broke the news to students Friday afternoon.
And they themselves are still processing through the news and grief, but really we're turning on focusing how can we support our students through this.
Sadat was traveling with her mother and sister, along with 173 other people Wednesday morning out of Tehran when the plane suddenly crashed after takeoff. Intelligence agencies from the United States, Canada, and Ukraine determined the plane had been hit by Iran's own anti-aircraft missiles, a claim the Iranian government disputed until Friday evening. In a statement to state media, Iranian armed forces admitted they had shot it down, claiming their military misidentified it as a hostile aircraft, a mistake still inconceivable to those who knew the victims.
I think I'm still in denial. So every time I wake up, I'm just questioning if it really happened.
Alliant says they will be offering counseling for students when they come back on Monday. And for those of you who see this story in Canada, the University of Alberta is also offering to connect people with counselors for those who are grieving. Matt Boone, 10 News.
Such a tragedy. Thank you, Matt. To stay up to date with everything you need to know about the Iran situation, just go to 10news.com and click on the story link.
Who knows what could have happened, so we had to save them.
That couple rushed into action to rescue a driver who had just crashed into their home. The pickup truck was quickly engulfed in flames after hitting a gas line. Our 10 News reporter Anthony Perot is live where firefighters say alcohol may have been a factor. Anthony.
That's right. They're calling this a possible DUI. Now, that driver was taken to the hospital in serious condition. His pickup truck has been towed from the scene, but I want to show you the damage it left behind. You can see the side of the house there. That's where that pickup truck slammed into. A couple was inside the house, but they are okay along with their 3 dogs. This video captured the moment a pickup truck lost control and careened into a home on Huron Street. Anthony and Jennifer Goss were inside.
I was in the back bedroom and it hit the front bedroom, and he was in the kitchen. I thought in our middle bedroom we have metal shelving. I thought it fell on him.
They ran outside and saw the pickup, the damage it caused, and the fire it started. Sky 10 flew over the scene and saw flames shooting out. Neighbors ran over to help. They saw the driver unconscious inside the truck.
One of the other gentlemen yelled, "We got to get the guy out." And I smashed the window out with my fire extinguisher. Who knows what could have happened.
John Chapman captured this video of the frenzy after the crash. His father, one of the people that ran over carrying a fire extinguisher to knock out the fire, but it reignited every time.
He saw that the truck had struck a gas line, and that's why the fire wasn't going on. So once he saw that, he instructed people, let's get back.
Firefighters spent nearly 2 hours battling the flames.
So the vehicle was sitting on top of the gas meter, but was actively flowing because we couldn't get access to it to shut it down like we normally would.
They were able to eventually dig underground and access a way to shut off the gas.
It was pretty scary. Yeah.
It's the scariest car crash neighbors have witnessed, but not the first.
Here, there's been a van that's hit this house. The neighbor next door to me, he's had his truck demolished, okay? Because these people, they just come around the corner real quick.
Many hope that this crash will lead to some change.
Oh, heck yeah. Because it's horrible here. All the way down this whole road. This whole road's horrible.
Now, the Red Cross is helping that couple that's been displaced. The driver of the pickup truck has not been identified. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, 10 News.
Anthony, thank you. One man is dead after a stabbing at a mobile home park in Escondido. A second person was also stabbed and is in the hospital. The attacker still on the loose.
Our 10 News anchor Derek Stahl is live at the mobile home park. Derek?
Kim, Steve, police say this started as a celebration and it ended with this deadly attack. And I can tell you this attack has really shaken up this neighborhood. I've seen several teens in tears hugging family members. Behind me, you can see Escondido police are still here. They're gathering evidence. They're speaking with witnesses, and there are a number of witnesses, we're told. This all happened near Center City Parkway and Felicita Avenue. Police say around 8:30 there was some sort of celebration here in one of the homes, and a black Toyota sedan pulled up. Two men got out. They got into an argument with some of the folks who were here. There was a scuffle and then a stabbing. Two people were stabbed. One died at the hospital. The other is in stable condition. We're told the victims are family members. The suspects, they got away. There is no information yet, no description on those suspects. Police do say that some gang language was exchanged, so they do suspect this was gang related. In Escondido, I'm Derek Stahl, 10 News.
Thank you, Derek. New at 11 o'clock, police arrested a man who attacked another person with a rock in Chula Vista.
I'm not spitting.
Police identified the suspect you see there as Edgar Romero. They say the random attack happened about 2:30 this afternoon in the 500 block of 4th Avenue. The person who was ambushed was taken to the hospital. Their condition is not known. Police say Romero ran after the attack. They used a helicopter to find and arrest him just after 5 o'clock this evening.
A review of the legal arm of the Navy and Marine Corps has found ethical and systemic problems within its judicial system. This is in the wake of the Eddie Gallagher case. Now, the Union Tribune reports that the review is suggesting organizational changes and increased training for the Judge Advocate General Corps. That's better known as JAG for short. The review only mentions Gallagher once and cites other cases. NCIS was found to have violated Gallagher's constitutional rights during his war crimes trial. Gallagher was acquitted of those war crime charges.
The son of the first sexually violent predator released into San Diego County has pleaded guilty to molesting a young girl. Shaun Crocker admitted to committing a lewd act on a child yesterday. After his arrest last year, 10 News learned from a source he is the son of Matthew Hedge. Hedge pleaded guilty to molesting children in 1989 and was released in 2005. Crocker now faces up to 10 years in prison when he is sentenced in March.
A special tribute will be held tomorrow at Bejan Ranch in Ramona for a local wildlife researcher. John Bittner helped educate thousands of people on the importance of wildlife preservation. Well, yesterday, Bittner was in Bandy Canyon in Escondido, replacing batteries on a motion-activated camera. That camera was set out to monitor a threatened golden eagle's nest.
So they have cameras set up to make sure that the birds are coming back and that they can then track them.
Bittner was in a harness but somehow fell off the cliff. He was given medical attention but went into cardiac arrest and died. For decades, Bittner held his Hawk Watch free of charge on Saturdays the first 2 months of the year. It was to teach the community about his passion. Tomorrow's Hawk Watch will be a tribute from 10 to noon.
He will be missed. We have a health alert tonight. San Diego has its first case of meningitis this year. A student at Nazareth School in Granville tested positive for the disease. We're told the child was previously healthy and is being treated in the hospital. The disease has not spread, and it does not spread through casual contact. Symptoms of the disease include fever, headaches, and rashes. There were 8 cases of the disease reported in San Diego last year.
A Russian Navy ship in an apparent act of aggression with a U.S. warship in the Arabian Sea came as close as 60 yards from the USS Farragut and forced the U.S. ship to sound its alarm. Here's ABC's Daria Albinger with the details.
U.S. and Russian Navy ships narrowly avoiding collision after the U.S. destroyer was aggressively approached by a Russian spy ship in the northern Arabian Sea. The USS Farragut issuing 5 warning horn blasts, a maritime signal for danger of a collision, ordering the Russian intelligence collection ship the Ivan Kurs to alter course in accordance with international rules. The Russians appearing to refuse, at first coming as close as 60 yards from Farragut's stern, but eventually moving away. Thursday's incident is just the latest close call between American and Russian Navy ships. Last June, U.S. and Russian warships coming so close, Russian sailors could be seen sunbathing on the stern of their vessel. The USS Chancellorsville was forced to perform an emergency maneuver to avoid collision. The Navy has been monitoring increasing provocations from the Russians, telling ABC's David Muir this past November the Russians are also making their presence known in the Mediterranean.
And the Russians have found a way to signal to you, we're here in the Mediterranean too.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're here.
And do you let them know that you know they're here?
That's why I'm here.
Defense Secretary Mark Esper spoke with his Russian counterpart about the situation in the Middle East on Friday, but it isn't clear if they spoke about Thursday's close encounter at sea. Daria Albinger, ABC News.